Are we outside? Okay, we're live. Welcome to today's episode of the Afrobeats News Update. As always, it's your boy Chief of Lagos on this one. We outside. Um, Today is a very special show, as you guys can already see. You can see my setup is looking on flick. On flick. Let me give a Don DeMarco for that one. On flick. So today's episode is being produced by Lami Logan Productions. We're outside in Lami Logan Studios. I can't disclose the location, unfortunately. But out here in London town, Lami Logan Studios. And yeah, man, I'm excited. We're going to talk about Burna today. We're going to talk about Tems today. We're going to talk about all things Afrobeats. And yeah, it's exciting. And we're going to touch on briefly the Lagos governorship elections. We're going to talk about Victor Osimhen's scoring prowess happening right now. And then there's a conversation around Afrobeats producing a lot of template songs lately. So we're going to address that too. And so yeah, it's going to be exact. But let me know how you guys are doing. Put something in the chat if you guys can see this, if you guys can hear me correctly. Is my audio fine? Is my video fine? Or put something in the comments for those of you that are going to be watching this later. But yeah, man, we're outside. Hope everyone had a productive week. Hope you guys excelled in everything you guys are doing. I know you guys that watch my content come from different walks of life and from different situations. For those of you in Lagos, yesterday was the elections, governorship elections, and governorship elections in other places. So it was a tough times as usual at Nigerian elections. But I hope you're safe. I hope you're able to cast your votes. I hope everything went correctly. But apart from that, sending my love to those in Lagos, sending my love to those in other areas that were affected by the senseless violence that keeps happening during our elections. But yeah, man, Lami is in the building. Shout out to Lami. Again, I'm gonna give another Don DeMarco. Again, you can't hear it now, but I'm praising him. I'm praising him through the keyboard. But yeah, man. What else do I want to say before I get into the flow of things? I mean, if it comes to me, I'll remember. But yeah, man. Shout out to everyone watching this. What should we talk about first? Should we start light or should we start heavy today? Because Burna was in a bit of trouble. He brought out the activist side of him again today. Well, not today, but last week. I can see there are 3 people in the chat currently. Put something in the chat so I can see who you are, so we can interact, so we can get started, you know. 4 people already. Let me know now. No ghost watchers this year. Don't just watch me. Comment, be part of the conversation so that we can go back and forth and make this shit more fun, you know. Well, yeah, shout out to everyone in the club. Thank you for all of you that tuned in early. Yeah. So let's start heavy. Let's start with the Burna Boy situation. So I'm going to share my screen now so you guys can have a look at it. But I don't know if you guys saw the video of Burna on Chaka Bars. If you guys know Chaka Bars, he's very active in Africa, in the Congo. He does a lot of refugee work. I don't know how to describe this thing. Is it charity? See that charity they call them outreach, like projects in the Congo. And if you guys know that area very well, there's a lot of disaster that happens there, a lot of war that happens there, and he does very well in that region in terms of building projects, building schools, helping the community. So he linked up with Burna Boy, and he gave like a brief interview session. Let me just see if I can pull that out. Yeah, I have that. So he did I'm sure you guys can see Victor Osimhen right there. I'm going to talk about him later. But he did like an interview, which I'm going to play for you now. So just listen to this.
Okay, let's use America for example, right? Because we can use anywhere. Yeah. But let's just use America, right? Why do you think the Chinese American, has their respect, and they don't go through the things that African Americans go through? Even though they might go through their struggles, I'm not taking anything away from them, but they don't go through what the African American goes through. know why? Because the Chinese American has a base. He actually knows where he's from in China.
Right. And they have support from the Chinese government.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like the Italian American,
They have Italy.
they know where their grandparents came from in Italy before.
Facts.
They know the first person in their family to come to America to start
Facts.
that made them Italian American. They know. You understand what I'm saying? And same goes for everyone else except the African American. You understand what I'm saying to you? So how can an African American and an Italian American
How are we looking at YouTube?
be
Good.
on the same field when the how do I put this in a nice politically correct way? When
Okay, basically, if you didn't catch what Burna was saying there, it was basically saying that the Chinese American knows where they are from, the Italian American knows where they are from, but the African American, why am I saying American instead of American? The African American is the only one that doesn't know where they are from. So basically, like I was saying about Chakabas, it's very big in the community, in the African community, in terms of like being on ground and doing projects on ground. And he's a big advocate of tracing your lineage, even though you're an American, you're a British person, sorry, citizen. He's a big fan of tracing your lineage back to Africa in terms of you knowing where you are from as an African. So yeah, so Burna was basically re-emphasizing the point that if you an African American, it's not just that, okay, once upon a time we came from Africa, once in a while, some time ago we came from Africa, but you need to go that extra step of like knowing what particular country you came from, what particular tribe you're part of, and how you can build that gap to connect yourself with your African community. That's basically what Burna Boy was trying to say. But then people started dragging him.
bruh.
People started dragging my guy, and there was really like nothing he could like, because African Americans, if you know African Americans very well, I need the full screen on this one. If you know African Americans very well, they are very, very not all of them, but a lot of them are very, very touchy about their connection with Africa. You would even find some African Americans that are like, I'm not African, I'm African American, or don't call me an African, or I'm not from Africa, I'm from America, that kind of thing. So there's that I won't call it identity crisis, I'll call it more like wanting to be more American than African. And it only happens with African Americans, which is part of the point Burna was trying to say. Like, the Italian, even though they call themselves American, the Italian American, even though they call themselves American, they are still proud of their Italian heritage and can trace it. They can trace it to when their first grandfather or great grandfather came to America. They all have the history of that, you get. And then the cultures that these people have in their homes identify strongly with where they come from. But this was all Burna was trying to say. But then African Americans were not too happy with this. So Burna responded on his IG story with this screen share. This post. He said, "It's sad to see that in 2023, there are still such black people who would prefer we stay divided and conquered. Maybe it's my accent or something, but I never said you are African and not American. I also did not say Africa is part of heaven. You deserve all the land and reparations you want from America, and I'm 100% in support of that. All I've ever done is try to make you understand that you have Africa too, that loves you, and I believe coming together as brothers and sisters is the only way forward for us black people worldwide. You work against the progress of our people worldwide if your goal is to keep us divided." Simple, straightforward message. And I don't know if you guys can tell, his tone is a bit different from when he's doing his Nigerian activism. Like you can see with African Americans, more like, guys. All I said was, Oh, well, with Nigerians, they're like, una dey mad. Someone tweeted, just look at the difference in tone. But if it's Nigerians, we'll be talking like we're the ones owing him money. Let me go to the quotes because they are funny as hell. Is it? Una no like wetin I talk, abi? That one no concern me. Oh. I made $15 million last year. And you think I'll be bothered by this social media shit? I did my 50 million mansion. Oh, that's just somebody thinking what Burna Boy was thinking. What else is here? People are really dragging him. Burna Boy is the Dio Israel of the music industry. A pretentious, low-life jobber. African giant, my soft black ass. Man, people are angry on Twitter. People are angry on Twitter. Why is my stuff not working? Oh, wait. My sound effect is not working. Check. Okay. What happened to mine? Anyway, we'll deal with that later. This Bumbleclat is working. Anyway, so basically this was it, and I think Burna is valid on this one. Even though I don't support Burna on all issues, but on this particular case, what he said is it's something I fully agree with, and it's even something I'm in the UK here trying to foster. Like, it's really important for African Americans to not lose their African side of the African American equation. It's really important for African UK citizens too, similarly, to not lose that link you have with Africa. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm Niger, and then you've never been to Nigeria, you've never been to Lagos, or you don't know where your people came from in Lagos and things like that. So on this one, I fully support Burna Boy. On a lighter note though, speaking of Burna Boy, he was just appointed to perform for the UEFA Cup final, which is crazy, which is really, really crazy. Like, UEFA is literally one of the most watched competitions in the world, was one of the most watched TV shows in the world. So it is actually crazy that at this point, Afrobeats is at that like stage. Like, and if you look at the current like events that have been happening, Davido was the World Cup song, performed at World Cup finals. Rema, Burna, and Tems performed at NBA finals, or NBA All-Star game halftime, which is basically like their version of, which is basically basketball's version of Super Bowl halftime. And then now Burna is performing at UEFA finals. It just shows that Afrobeat is the hottest sound right now. So it's crazy. It's crazy to think that just in a matter of a few years, we are like here. Like, I was still talking with my friend the other day on, like, he grew up in the UK, and I was still telling him of how, like, growing up in the UK, you literally had to sneak to listen to Afrobeats. You had to hide to listen to Afrobeats. Like, you'll be shamed for listening to Afrobeat songs, and now we're performing at all these shows. So it's crazy, man. The Burna Boy is keeping the flag flying as a Afrobeats ambassador. So yeah, that's a good segue now into what happened with Tems at the Oscars. Speaking of Afrobeats going international, Tems really put the C in international. You put the block in blocked. So, bro, I don't know. Did you guys see Tems' dress at the Oscars? Let me know in the chat if you guys saw Tems' dress at the Oscars. But it was crazy because it got like I won't say mixed reactions, because a lot of the reaction from the international audience was negative, in terms of people. The word people used around, the word people were throwing around was rude, which I don't get. Like, rude is like, okay, you spoke to me rudely, or like you I think rude is supposed to be for like a particular behavior, not the fact that you wore a dress. So maybe inconsiderate, insensitive, those are the words like might better fit if you want to be on the criticism side. Might better fit the scenario. But rude is a stretch. It's kind of condescending. So are you thinking, okay, because we're Africans or Nigerians, I'm supposed to be like, oh, thank you for bringing me to the Oscars. Oh, Hallelujah. My people, we're glad to be here at the Oscars. Is that how they expect us to behave? I don't get it. Like, so the whole rude accusation is just out of place. But let me show you guys the dress so that you guys can have a view of it. And let me know what you guys think. I'm sure all of you have seen the dress now. It was trending. But yeah, man, look at Tems looking beautiful as always. Looking sexy, looking dazzling. She killed it. The dress was beautiful. The dress was beautiful. That one I would agree. But I understand the part of the outrage. Part of the outrage. I understand, like, that dress is a bit tall. I'm not gonna lie. And Tems is already a tall babe. Let me smile when I saw tall babe because that's his spec. But Tems is already a tall babe, and you put on this tall dress, so inevitably you're going to block people. So that would have I believe that was a bit inconsiderate of her. But I don't think she thought about it that far ahead. I'm sure she just looked at the dress, saw that was a nice dress, white color, stand out. Being nominated for an Oscar, which is a big deal. Like, without Tems is yet to drop an album. Like, she has not dropped her debut album yet, and she's already been nominated for a Grammy. She's already won other international awards. Already won her local awards too, without a debut album. So it is insane the level she's going. So I get the fact that she wanted to make a statement, but obviously her team didn't think far ahead that she would block people. What could have been, because it's just so beautiful, what could have been a makeshift solution is if maybe she brought a change of clothes, which they all do for the Oscars after party. But and which was wearing, if you guys can see in this video with DJ Spino. DJ Spino was also the DJ at the official Oscars Vanity Fair party, which is crazy. Like, when we're talking about Afrobeats being big, we're not talking about just the musicians. Like, everybody's eating now. The promoters, you see Afro Nation, biggest one of the biggest festivals in the world. You see our DJs, DJ Spino now, arguably the biggest Afrobeats DJ right now, and like DJing at the Oscars after party. Crazy, unbelievable, man. Like, wait, I don't the market for Afrobeats. But like, it's just crazy. And you can see the dress she's wearing here is different. It's a change of clothes, obviously. So could she have changed during the Oscars to allow people to see her better? Maybe she could have, you know. So but one thing though is that the outrage is selective outrage. Shout out to Chris Rock. It was dope special. But the outrage is selective from the point of view, like, and someone was pointing it out to me earlier. Like, Cardi B has worn high top dresses like that. That is giving me some nice close up. Let me show you guys properly. It didn't tear my head. Oh, well, back up. They freak me all kind. But yeah, like, I'm sure you guys saw the Cardi B dress that she wore like a year or 2 years ago, and high top too. And I've seen other people wearing dresses that look like that in terms of having that gay feel. And I've never seen this level of outrage before. I've never seen this vitriol. Like, even literally, I don't know if you guys know Stephen A. Smith. He's a sports analyst, one of the biggest basketball, NFL talk show heads. On his podcast, he was talking about the Tems dress. And I was like, let me see if I can find that video. Let me actually see if I Divine Tems. Divine Smith. Yeah, let me play the video. Rude. let me play the video for you guys. I'll just share my screen. Yeah, see.
That's how that singer songwriter Tems, Tems is how they pronounce the name, made a bold fashion statement at the 95th Academy Awards, the Oscars in Hollywood last Sunday. Saw that cloud-like dress she had on? I suppose it was nice.
It was a
But
nice dress.
How rude! How rude! I mean, it just blocked everything behind her. I mean, she didn't want nobody else to watch the Oscars. You know how rude you gotta be to roll up in the Oscars and sit down with that dress, knowing that there were people behind you. You blocking about 20 different people from seeing the daggone Oscars. How rude you have to be. Just no regard. None. That singer-songwriter Tems, Tems
bro.
is how this went.
Stevie went at Tems. He said, how rude you have to be. But I mean, she needs to make a statement, man. Like, I fuck with it, and at the end of the day, I actually like the way Tems handled it. She posted she had a post after something like let me see if I can put it up. But she was very, very unapologetic about it, which was dope, because at the end of the day, if she came out, okay, she said, oops. She said, oops. Well, it was dazzling. I don't know if you guys can see. Beautiful, man. Fucking beautiful. Tems is stunning. But yeah, she was like, oh, she owned it. No apologies, no take backs, no regrets. And I like that, because at the end of the day, all publicity is good publicity, fam. Like, fine. Some people will complain here and there, but I'm sure a lot of people that didn't know Tems before now know her because of the outrage, and will now probably go and check out her songs. Like, what even brought her to the Oscars? What even brought this Nigerian queen, this woman king? Why even brought this woman king to the Oscars? So yeah, man. At the end of the day, I like the way she handled it, and fam, put some respect on Tems' name, man. But this is a segue to a broader conversation I want to have, and this is serious. So I need a close up. Just bring it a bit closer. That's okay. And is a broader. This brings into recognition the broader conversation we need to have about what tables are Afrobeats shaking. This sudden rise of Afrobeats. Is everyone really happy about it? Is everyone really happy about it? Is it really Afrobeats to the world like we think? You know? Like, and I want to show you guys something, but I'll show you guys after. But what we need to recognize as a genre and as a movement is that the more songs, Afrobeat songs, that come on the radios, on the international radio, the less hip-hop songs we're going to have on the radio. The less pop songs we're going to have on the radio. The less R&B songs we're going to have on the radio. Do you think, and these are already heavily competitive spaces. Do you think all the players in these spaces are happy about that? And that's what I really want to address. And I think that is where a lot of the rage, a lot of the vitriol, a lot of the anger, a lot of the she's so rude is coming from. I think it's coming from the fact that not everyone is happy about this sudden rise of Afrobeats, about Afrobeats being the most requested music right now, about Afrobeats parties being the most popping right now, about Afro Nation being the most popping festival right now. Shout out to my black queens, you know. So that's one thing we need to be careful of as a movement. And yeah, I'm gonna show you what happened with the Wizkid and Soulja Boy Rolling Loud. Lami, you can back up a bit. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Shout out to my producer, man. Easy to get producer. If he easy, go do him. So yeah, let me just show you guys the Rolling Loud thing quickly. So this was a tweet from Soulja Boy that I later deleted, but it was like let me see. It said, "It's stamped. I'm done tweeting. We're gonna kill that nigga." Then he now put Rolling Loud. He said, "Take me off that Germany show at Rolling Loud." That is crazy. I don't know if you guys got the first part, but he said, "It's stamped. I'm done tweeting. We gonna kill that nigga." I'm not American, so just mind my accent there. We gonna kill that nigga. Devil emoji, 100 emoji. And I'm like, sure? Like, did it reach that level that, wow, like death has entered the chat? Or like, why is my sound effects taking a day off today? Interesting. Sorry guys, let me see if I can just start this shit. Okay, they're selectively working for some reason. Sorry about that. Jesus is Lord, I just walked now, it's not working again. Okay, anyway, we run the show without sound effects. Fuck that shit. This is the problems with live, man. Everything has to be on point. So if one thing is missing, it's just a bit annoying. But yeah, man. But like, I look at this suite and I know a lot of us might say Soulja Boy. It's just him, or Soulja Boy has issues. But I'm sure he's not the only hip hop artist feeling this way. Like, especially with the fact that a lot of African Americans, I'm just going to be blunt here, look down on Africans. Like, a lot of African Americans, a lot of people that grow up abroad. And I mean, it's partly not their fault, it's partly a lot of indoctrination of when they see African movies, they see swinging from the jungle. They see niggas in leaf pants. They don't believe that like Africans like actually have civilizations and stuff. So a lot of it is programming, but a lot of it too is just like, at the end of the day, like, discuss with Africans around you, and you yourself are African. So it shouldn't be adversarial. It should kind of be like collaborative point of view we should approach each other from. So yeah, but I'm sure Soulja Boy is not the only one feeling the way he expressed in that tweet. And obviously Whiskey is gonna be fine. I've been in events with Whiskey security. That man, he moves heavy, so he's not worried about some Soulja Boy threats. But it just brings on the wider conversation in terms of who are we offending with our rise, and who do we need to be careful of. Not every skin folk is skin folk, unfortunately. So it's what we need to be careful of with this rise of Afrobeats. But yeah, I wanted to touch on that briefly. And yeah, man, shout out to Tems. Unfortunately, she didn't win the Oscar, but still, it's a thing of pride, man. Yeah, so I saw a tweet about the state of African music, Nigerian music recently. And I think it's something I kind of agree with. In terms of, well, let me play the tweet. Let me show you guys the tweet, and then we can debate this together. But tweet was from Twitter user Ade Adeayo, and it was like, sonically, we are in need of a new direction. Every Friday, we get a collection of template songs that are fast becoming tedious. We need someone who can freshen things up and still command huge commercial success. I like that line. I'm going to talk about that after the tweet, but yeah, I like the fact that I added still commands huge commercial success, because there are a lot of people that are bringing new things up that are not commanding commercial success, and we'll get to that briefly. For now, things are still, and it's an effect of the COVID rush. Is it just an effect of the COVID rush? Maybe I'm not. I don't entirely agree with that, but I agree with parts of this sentiment. I don't know if it's just me, guys, but lately, the songs that have been coming out in Afrobeats, and this kind of even applies to Amapiano too, to some degree, but I'm not so versed with Amapiano songs, so maybe I might be in over my head on that one. But for Afrobeats especially, yeah, sorry about this dog. But for Afrobeats especially, like, I don't know if it's just me. A lot of the songs lately have just been feeling templates, plug and play ish. Like, just for example, the new song with Zino and Adekunle Gold. I like the song. It's a good song. It's good Zino verse, good Adekunle verse, but it was just the same old shit. Like, I think a lot of these artists from COVID, which is maybe what this Twitter user means by the COVID rush, but a lot of these artists from COVID, because it was especially during that COVID period that a lot of Afrobeat songs were going global. But I think a lot of these artists during that time found the formula and have just decided to stick with it. Like, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. And not only that, when some artists switch up, like say Ashake for example, he switched up with Yoga, and I think Yoga was a good song, but everyone was like, oh, what is this? Give us our party jams, give us our regular, like, what, we don't like the sound. I saw a lot of that on Twitter and the communities, and various communities, I mean. Like, people didn't really like the song, and it was a different vibe. But I like the song. I like the messaging of the song. I like the storytelling of the song. Shout out to TG Omori. But it was just like, people were just like, nah, give us our regular. And then Ashake came out with a snippet of, I don't know if you guys have seen the snippet. Let me play it for you guys, because the snippet is, I can't get the snippet out of my head. But it came up with this snippet. Something about probability, yeah. Probability, something, ability. Okay, let me play you guys the snippet. Let me see what you guys are thinking about it.
Tranquility, I no get time to the form activity. Define stability like a badge, money learning ability. What's the chances, what's the probability to see a better version of me with a
You don't hear this Ashake snippet.
reality, open principality and calamity. But you love me to vanity, baby, no the forgity. But she want it, still get money like Fiji, dripping like Fiji, I believe you. 230 oh yeah,
Yeah, that was the snippet, and I liked it. It's, although it's very similar with the Palazzos of the world, with the Organized of the world, but it's a dope sound, and there's still lyrical flow. The beats are still on point as usual. Same drawing from Amapiano, log drums. So it was good. But people now started saying, Ashake don't go microwave jam for us. Ashake don't go do copy and paste again. People were dragging Ashake, and I was like, ah. You get? So what do the people actually want is something I'm not entirely sure of. But I do agree that a lot of the sounds coming out lately have been a bit repetitive, a bit in general though. In general. Okay, I'm looking for some of the twists. Well, all the tweets I'm seeing now are positive, but I saw a few negative tweets when it came out, and yeah. Sorry, my voice. You guys don't pay me enough for this shit. So I think artists need to explore more. But the problem is when they explore more, you guys don't reward them with streams and listens. Or you guys would listen and complain. Like look at Wizkid's new album, for example. I like the album a lot. I think it's really good. But it wasn't received well. Like people were not really fucking with it. And it was a different sound. It was not your regular club bangers, but you guys say you want new shit, you want different shit, but then they'll give you different shit and you'll be like, you're not the guy, you know? Like you'll be like, who is this? What is this? Oh my god. So like what did you add in your steam? That's what we keep hearing. So you guys as consumers, we need to number one, hold artists. Hey God, it's my age factor. Hold artists to a higher standard. So challenging them to do different things, which is I support. But at the same time, when they now explore and experiment, we need to be kind to them. We need to respect the art form. We need to understand that you can get in better, but you can't just get in better one time. How did that guy say it? I'm just getting better, but you can't get better one time. You can't achieve perfection on first trial. So, and a lot of these artists, they're very sensitive about how people react to their shit. So, I can understand why a lot of them just stay in that lane of finding a formula and then giving it to us back to back. So, yeah, man, it's sad that it has come to this, but at the end of the day, I'm really not down for this template music that everybody's releasing now. I'm not, like I was supposed to do new songs today, react to new songs today, but the ginger is not there because like the songs I react to sounds same types of songs that I reacted to last week. Shout out to Zeno and Adekunle for going number 1. Shout out to Gwagalada too. That's another hot new single that I'm bopping at the moment. We'll still take a look at the top 10 on Apple Music Nigeria now to see what are the poppy songs. But yeah, man, that was it about template songs. Talking about someone that is not going according to the script though. I don't know if you guys, how many of you guys listen to Odumodu Black? I don't know if you guys listen to Odumodu Black. Is one of these artists that have intrigued me of late, and a lot of people have been comparing him to Sheyi Vibes. There's been the whole Sheyi Vibes versus Odumodu Black conversation going on, and so people are becoming tribal with it. People are saying Odumodu Black is the Igbo version of Sheyi Vibes. Sheyi Vibes is repping the Yorubas. Odumodu is repping the Igbos and things like that. There might be some similarities because they are both very good melodically, like melodies wise. They are both very, very good. For rappers, they have very good vocal prowess. So it's impressive from that standpoint. Sheyi Vibes is a bit all over the place with his style though. Like one time it's sounding like an Ashake. The next time it's sounding like a Zlatan. The next time it's sounding like an Olamide. Like Sheyi Vibes, I'm not totally getting the sound. That's some of the songs that I really, really fuck with. The new song with Zlatan, Let There Be Lights. Epic song. And the way Zlatan floated on that song was amazing. Like, and Zlatan is making a huge push now. The canto with Odu Black, Zlatan's verse there was epic. And Zlatan's new single, Omologo, beautiful. I don't know if you guys have heard it. Beautiful song, of which Odumodu Black made a remake or a refix. But yeah, I'm really checking out this Odumodu Black guy, and I've been impressed with what I'm hearing so far. Picanto was a nice track. The Doggy Dog song too was nice, and I'm looking forward to his album. I think it's supposed to drop already, or it's dropping this week, because he was promoting it. Declan Rice Odomodu. Is it dropped? How many days? Bro is just tweeting about football. 5 days to Declan Rice. That was 12 hours ago. So it's gonna be dropping at the end of this week. So I'm looking forward to evaluating that project and seeing the sound. Again though, I'm gonna plug this again. Spino's album, guys. You guys should give it a listen, man. Give it a listen. Like, trust me, you won't regret it. Like, the album is on point. The features, the way it connected everyone, but the song with Van Jess, the song with Olamide and Kemel, is that his name? He's a new artist. Bunda, epic song. The song on Ricardo. Ricardo is always is found in my piano lane and he's sticking to it and he's killing it. The song with Means, the guy that sang Owo remix with Black Bones and Bujutsu. Fire. So check out Spino's album. I strongly recommend. I think I gave it a 8 or a 7.5 on my last reviews. But yeah, shout out to Victor Osimhen though. Speaking of Africans making us proud, Africans doing good in the international space. I mean, this space is not just about music. We're talking about, like, when we're doing Afro, all things Afro, and Osimhen is a shining example of that. I think this year, 15 goals. I think he's only behind Rashford for most goals this year in all competitions. And for Serie A, his team, Napoli, is on top of the table. First season at Napoli, top of the table, and 20 goals in 23 appearances. Insane. And is quickly becoming a cult hero. Also, Napoli just qualified for the UEFA quarterfinals for the first time, I think either ever or in a long time, which is crazy impressive. So shout out to Victor Osimhen, just got called up for the Nigerian squad. I'm really excited about this current batch of Nigerians. I don't know if you remember Osimhen's set from the under 21. But I remember that they are on. I don't know if it was under 21 or under 18. But they stormed through everybody. They're winning 5-0, 6-0. That was Osimhen's set. I think Chukwueze was also in that set. And Chukwueze is playing very, very well in La Liga right now. So it's really like let me say African excellence. Osimhen is really a shining example of that. And I'm just seeing him in talk conversations, like people are there was the whole Osimhen versus Haaland debate. Like, Haaland, man. Like, have you seen that guy? He looks like a fucking monster. And then they're comparing him with our small boy Osimhen. Like, it's and I've even seen him in talks for Ballon d'Or, which is crazy. And if Napoli, by some miracle, I don't know how they want to beat the likes of Man City or Madrid. RIP Chelsea, by the way, my team. But I don't know how Napoli can do against those kind of teams. But if they manage to pull off a UEFA, bruv, with Osimhen being the best player on the team, bruh, Lagos is gonna go crazy, man. Lagos is gonna go crazy. So that is just something I wanted to spotlight in terms of like the African excellence section. So Osimhen is our shining example for this week. Yeah, so I've covered most of the topics I wanted to cover for this show, for this particular show. I could go on and on with this current setup, man. I'm loving the view I'm seeing right now. But I'm gonna be wrapping up soon. What else did I wanna really go into? Something just pops into my head now. Okay, to come back to me. In the meantime, let's have a look at Apple Music Top 10 Nigeria at the moment. Look at the hottest songs right now. Nicolo P. Well, good, Jelami. My Apple Music. Everything up. Yeah. What happened to the light? The green. It's off? Yeah, okay, no shit. No, I'll round up soon anyway. Yeah. We're having some technical difficulties. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to cover up. For the latest shows happening, this week, I'm going to be. I have big plans coming. I'm reaching a deal with a club. I can't go into all of the specifics now. I can't give them any pre-promo yet, but I'm reaching a deal. So Chief of Lagos, the promoter, is going to be back very, very, very soon, and I have a couple shows lined up. I don't know how many of you have gotten the Whiskey Stadium show tickets. Selling out really quickly. The Whiskey Tottenham show. I don't know how many of you have gotten it, and if you have not, get it fast. The after parties that day are going to be legendary. Are going to be off the hook, and I'm planning a very, very special one around the corner that day because the stadium is right in front of my house. So it might not be at my house. Location undisclosed yet, but yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can. It's something I can. Okay, let me just check the billboards. Afrobeats billboard in terms of what are the hottest songs right now. Even though billboards is not really the way they update this billboards, US Afrobeat songs is not really capturing the vibe of what is currently popping. Like for me anyway. Like see, it still has Calm Down Remix as number 1. Obviously, Calm Down Remix is doing well globally, but is that what people are listening to in Nigeria, which is where Afrobeats is based, But so, how good would a billboard be effective? Like how effective would a billboard capture what is the hottest Afrobeat songs at the moment? I'm not sure about that. So, yeah, man, yeah. So, today's chat was not active, so I can't bounce anything off you guys. So, unfortunately, I think I'll have to bring the live to an end. I'll talk with Lami about like this setup and how we can combine different things, bring in a guest, maybe the frequency of this. I don't know how much my pocket to be able to afford this setup on a regular basis, but you should help me beg Lami in the chat and the comment section. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this setup in the comment section. I'm really excited to hear what the experience was like, how different it was. Like, do I need to really go this hard on my setup all the time, or are we just fine with my webcam in the room, streets, just us movement like we normally do? And so let me know in the chat. But I'm really excited to see how I have a couple of female guests coming in the next few weeks. So I'm really excited to see how they will look on this setup. Even the boys too, my boys are fresh. So I'm really excited on how they'll look on this setup. Podcast in the works. I don't know how many of you saw my word on the call back-to-back appearance. Yes, that's been trending. Yes, I'm trending. I don't know why, but I'm just hoping somebody doesn't send it to my parents. Even though my parents are fine with my polygamy stance, they have no problem with me marrying multiple wives. I raised up as a joke because, spoiler alert, I don't know if you guys know, my granddad has over 30 wives, and he just married again in December. So my dad just informed me of it on the call last week. My granddad said, "Do you know about your granddad has a new wife now?" I was like, "Well, another one," like in DJ Khaled's voice. So it was like, I was like, bro, I was not telling my dad. If you like that in a way, I go follow. Because like Thanos, I have to collect all the rings. So, but I was just joking about it. Obviously, like when we are having the whole polygamy conversation, I'm just against the demonization of it. Like, I feel is obviously in this current Western environment we're in, monogamy is the more realistic and practicable option. But if you are obviously like a millionaire and you can afford to take care of multiple families, I see no harm in. I feel like we've kind of overcorrected now in terms of where we are as a society. Like I think in Islam you're allowed up to 4 wives, for example. So are we saying the Muslims are wrong? You get, is it only Christianity that is the right way? And obviously in African tradition too, which my grandfather practices, they also allowed a large number of wives. So even though it might not be the best option for most people, especially in this Western world, but I don't support demonization of it. Obviously on the show it was just a gag. The girl was, I mean, I reacted to this in an earlier episode, but the girl was just being unnecessarily difficult that day. Said she wants a Nigerian man, she wants a chief. And I was asking her, can you cook? No. How many kids do you want? Just 2. I want a big family, my dear. How are we going to make this work, you know? Like, I get the cooking part. We can get a chef or something. Yeah. You guys are not against slave labor in that one, no. You're not doing activism in that one, no. In terms of having chefs and things like that. You're fine when it suits you, but that's a different conversation. But in terms of like, okay, fine. You don't want to cook. You don't want to learn how to cook. Because I asked her that day, I don't know if you guys have seen the episode. I asked her, I was like, okay, I can teach you. She was like, I don't even want to learn. I'm like, I'm a chief, oh. I'm literally chief of Lagos, fam. But shout out to Miss Tems, man. She was actually quite friendly after the show. And it was still a good, it was a good gag. It was a good gig. All my exes, I've seen it in this country. I think the first girl I ever dated in this country messaged me. She was like, I saw you on Word on the Cove. I was like, oh, I know this guy. I was like, fuck it, hell, man. Man's got global now, you know. Price is up in the streets. So, but yeah, man, it's good. But it was good having this session, man. It's good catching up. Always exciting. Shout out to everyone that tuned into the Afrobeats news updates. Love you guys. Make sure to keep excelling. Make sure to keep being the best version of you. And unfortunately, this show has to come to an end. And I'll see you guys in the next show. Bye, everyone. And we're off. My G.